Ban Bulldog and other pundits such as Andy Dusty, Saliman, Mr. Logic, if you want our industry to thrive like Nigerians. Ban Bulldog and other pundits like Mr. Logic, Saliman, and the Dusty, if you want our music industry to thrive. Sometimes you listen to some of these pundits. You listen to what Bulldog has been saying. Go to TikTok's office. Sometimes you listen to him compare Stonebwoy's Accra Sports Stadium event to Wizkid, and you will be tempted to believe that Shatta Wale has a point. Hello my people, hello my lovely viewers, welcome to another exclusive right here on TJ Studios. As usual, your Commander-in-Chief aka Emeka is here to give you more exclusives and spanking new content right here on this channel. What is on the bill today? Before I do that, Merry Christmas to each and everybody. Merry Christmas. I hope you are enjoying this Christmas season or this festive season. Yes, basically, I hope you are having fun. And I hope you are also keeping yourself safe, all right, and sound wherever you are. We need you for the next year, which is on its way. 2024, there are a lot of things we'll be doing, all right? So we need you to stay alive. You got to be alive, all right? Okay, so let's move on to what is on the bill today. What is actually on the bill? Well, Shatta Wale. You know, Shatta Wale has come up with an assertion, and it's quite interesting. Ban Bulldog and other pundits such as Andy Dusty, Saliman, Mr. Logic, if you want our industry to thrive like Nigerians. Ban Bulldog and other pundits like Mr. Logic, Saliman, and the Dusty, if you want our music industry to thrive, all right, like Nigerians. Okay, so this has been it with Shatta Wale, and it is in which context at which Shatta Wale is saying this. It is right here on today's editorial, and I'm here to dissect and dilate it on today's edition of TJ Studios editorial, all right, like we've been doing. Let's run on a quick commercial break, and then when we come back, we zoom in straight to action, dissect and dilate the issue thoroughly. Okay guys, welcome back from that quick commercial break. As you've seen on the headline on today's editorial, with Shatta Wale's assertion which has come into play, as in Ban Bulldog and other, industry players such as Mr. Logic, all right, and the Dusty, Saliman, and a host of, pundits on our industry or in our industry, sorry, for that matter, ban them from the music space if you want our music industry to thrive. Is it relative? Is it something that is doable? And it is in which context? We are here to dissect and dilate it on today's editorial. All right. So let's move straight to action. All right. Now let me major on Bulldog before, we basically enlargen it to other sectors or other quarters. All right. Bulldog is a former manager of Shatta Wale. All right. And now you saw, the affiliation between Bulldog and Shatta Wale made Shatta Wale's brand, quite subversive, and very controversial. There were a lot of controversies surrounding Shatta Wale's brand then. All right, there was a breakaway. Later on, Shatta Wale was signed to Xylophone, all right, or Xylophone, whatever, Xylophone, and then Xylophone Records Entertainment was a record label, basically, all right. Now, they had to work together because Bulldog was part of the Xylophone team. They worked together not as his personal manager, but it was because Bulldog was part of the Xylophone team, all right, so it was penchant on them to work together in line with music videos, artist branding, and all. So if you've watched Shatta Wale's Gringo, you saw Bulldog in the video, all right? That was after there was a split up. Now, there was a second comeback where they merged together again, where Bulldog was Shatta Wale's artist manager again, was the manager of him again. Now, basically, that reunion brought both of them trying to enlighten us on the fact that they've learned a lot in line with the breakup, all right, their breakaway, they've learned a lot in line with it. So this time, they are using their experiences, all right, gathered within the breakup, all right, breaking apart as an artist manager and artist and coming back together to help foster, all right, and blend together a new brand that we see Shatta Wale soar and thrive. All right, so you probably saw Shatta Wale on UTV having this, scuffle with Arnold, all right, in relation to that, whatever, you get it. The second coming of Bulldog as an artist manager to Shatta Wale lasted for only some few months, all right, or relatively a year, and then there was a split up again. All right. Now we saw Bulldog defending Shatta Wale every time on UTV entertainment show in Ghana. All right. Okay. Bulldog was very defendant of him. All right. Now, how did the second breakup come about? All right. There were basically misunderstandings again, and then there had to be a split up. They split up again, and this time Bulldog said, "I went into the second, the second coming as an artist manager with my head, not with my brain." All right, I was basically relatively going into it knowing that this artist is basically full of himself, self-centered. All right, so I went in there with my brains because I knew anything can happen anytime. With the second coming of Bulldog, he encouraged Shatta Wale to sack all his militants, or his SM militants, that is the guys he signed onto his label or Shatta whatever movement label. They sacked them, all right, and I think it was only left with Kaftan basically, all right. So the second coming also met up with a lot of controversies, and their split up came, and it brought certain controversies surrounding the Shatta Wale brand that Shatta Wale cannot keep hold of, people around him, in line with Pop Skinny and a whole lot of people breaking away from the Shatta Wale brand. All right, so fast forward. We also saw a scuffle between Andy Dosty and then Shatta Wale. What actually brought about this scuffle, we actually don't know, or we basically don't know. But we saw Shatta Wale throwing shots and throwing tantrums at Andy Dosty almost all the time whenever he goes live. All right, citing the fact that these industry players are full of themselves and are evil-minded. So there's been a scuffle between Shatta Wale and a lot of people in the media these days. Let's face the fact. He seemed not to badge with them and indulge in a lot of their activities. So Shatta Wale has been more of a solo artist, all right, with a few media people and his fan base supporting him, all right. One thing I like about Shatta Wale is the fact that he's able to voice out his displeasure, all right, all the time. But another school of thought is it basically necessary to be ranting about everything all the time? Because there are certain things you need to keep quiet, observe, and then act like a cat, blink your eye, and meow over it. So basically, relatively, how do you see this, group of people affecting our music industry? And how do they affect the music industry? Basically, Abeku Santana, Saliman, Mr. Logic, Bulldog, and stuff. Now, in line with Bulldog, basically, I see Bulldog as a coward. All right? Now, my line of activity is like that. You see, we can agree to disagree anytime, and we can disagree to agree anytime. There can be scuffles between us anytime. But whatever secret we have, okay, whatever, good times we share, be it positive, be it negative, should be between us when there is a split. And I find it difficult when you move and then join up with people. You move, and then when there is a misunderstanding, they begin to spread, false rumors about you, whether it's positive or negative. I feel that so far as that relationship is no more there, let's be matured enough to restrict ourselves from sharing what we did together. Some of the things we spent our time, working on. Some of the things, secrets we had. Let it be between us. All right? So we seeing Bulldog admonishing Stonebwoy after the Beam concert shows how you could see that he's indirectly sending a message to Shatta Wale that, yes, you said you've done it. You were bragging about it. But basically, Stonebwoy has also done it. So now a lot of Nigerians have labeled Bulldog as a coward. in relation to what he said after the Beam Nation, concert at the Accra Sports Stadium, and even went ahead to compare Stonebwoy's Beam concert to that of Wizkid, which is relatively unfounded, relatively irrelevant. I've been saying this, and it's basically not a good thing to do, not the best way or the right line to toe. You get it? We should be mindful of the fact that our industry, the setting of our industry, has not grown to that point where we should see ourselves as bosses and then throwing shots at people who are basically doing it, who are basically carving a niche of their own, who are basically it now. It's not like they are even doing it, they are it. All right, they are there. Their industry has thrived and is basically thriving now. All right, so the question of the day is, what is actually wrong with our space? Okay, what is actually wrong with our space? What seemed to be wrong? All right, Shatta Wale might be right coming from a different angle, but as it comes to for it to be seen as a collective, agenda where we can come together, be deliberate about it and push it, that is where the biggest problem lies within our industry space. Shatta Wale has a point where he sees that, okay, we can do this at this level, we can have our own genre, we can thrive within this space if we all decide to toe this lane. Now, another school of thought or another bunch of the industry gurus will also feel, okay, if we use this medium, this way, or we use this toll booth to make our calls, it will relatively reach a lot of people and we arrive at a goal. The problem is how to come together, how they can be able to come together and push that agenda becomes a disease, a bolt of a disease within the industry, because merging together to carve a path for ourselves has always been the problem. All right, so we are basically in an industry where negativity sells a lot. We are in an industry where negativity sells a lot. And basically, it's not everyone who can basically bask in that negativity, whatever. Some people would want to create positive content, want to educate, want to digest, we want to dilate, and then basically we want to have educative, podcasts about the industry and then the African music industry as a whole. So Shatta Wale's assertion, well, I don't even know what to say about it. It is coming from him, but breaking it down, there might be other industry players who are a problem because they would push an agenda of supporting certain artists of their own. All right, that is basically it within our industry. But you see, how can we work collectively? Because without it, we can't do anything. We are like single brooms in our individual way, and it's easy to break us. But like I said, if we're able to put our differences aside and then come together, all right, work together like a piece of broom, picking us and breaking us out will become different. You get it? All right, so within the next 5 to 10 years, do you think we can catch up with Nigerians? I've been saying this, it's a big no. Because if you play catch up, they will move. If you play catch up, it thrives. It is not a stagnant industry. All right? The Nigerian music space keeps growing. It's not stopping anytime. And they're a bunch of united people. They don't compete. They don't compare. And then they don't see themselves as rivaling each other. All right? They don't see themselves as rivals. So, well, it is an assertion. We'll look at it holistically. And then when other developments come on board, we'll look at it and then dissect it. But I feel that Shatta Wale has a point. All right? Some industry players, not all of them, are a nick of their own devil. They are basically pushing their own agenda. And it's devoid of the industry setting. Or it's devoid of holistically the whole entirety of the industry thriving on a much more wider perspective. It is such that they are carving a niche of, let me protect my space, like I've been saying. So they enjoy and they make money from, certain artists. So let's project that space and make sure nobody comes and enjoy the money we are enjoying. That has been it with our industry. And I basically say this. Ghana, have your industry. Do whatever you want to do with it. If you want to stay local, stay local. Nobody cares, all right? We'll keep preaching positivity. But don't drag people into it. Don't drag South Africans. Don't drag Nigerians into it. I've been saying this. They are gone. They are far gone. They are not stopping anytime. And if you play catch up, they will still move. So there is no time catching them. Just do your thing. Just be in your own space. Just carve your niche and work around it. That is basically it. That is basically it. Nobody is stopping for you to catch up. All right? Nobody is basically stopping for you to catch up. They are on the move. They are on the rise. They are on a trajectory, which is basically an A-list, exceeding point of a music industry where you can't catch them. All right? So basically, let's focus on our own and build our own. Whether we want to do it locally, we want to do it within the African context, we want to go global. It will not come when we are so individualistic and then we are not pushing a deliberate agenda of coming together. And that has been the problem. All right? Shatta Wale is my favorite artist. Sometimes you listen to some of these pundits. You listen to what Bulldog has been saying. Go to TikTok's office. Sometimes you listen to him compare Stone Boys Accra Sports Stadium event to Wizkid. And you will be tempted to believe that Shatta Wale has a point. You get to some of our punditry, tone and then submission are relatively, you listen to them and then I always say, you just oppose it with facts within the industry. And then, well, it's funny. I said, maybe they want to trend, but is this the right way to trend? Is it the right way to trend? It basically doesn't make sense. All right. The right way to trend is when you are having a beautiful genre that is selling for you. And like I said, if you can't beat them, join them. The best thing you can do is to hop onto Afrobeat, just like a lot of people were hopping onto hip hop and blah, blah, blah. You can hop onto it. If you feel you can't carve your own gen. But if you want to carve your own gen and move within your own path, then please don't drag people into it. It is not a sure way to helping our industry thrive. All right. So this has been basically it within the editorial session on today's edition. All right. Like I've been doing and I've been saying, Merry Christmas to each and everyone. Take good care of yourself. Enjoy within the festivities. All right. But also take good care of yourself. From us, TJ Studios, we want to extend, Merry Christmas to you. And then want to say thank you for being on this channel, for supporting us, for bringing out your comments, whether you agree with us or you disagree with us. Yes, basically that is it. So like I've been doing, my name has always been TJY. We'll have an editorial like you've requested to draw in certain industry players from the Nigerian music space to dilate and discuss, particular issues in relation to a particular topic, which is, thrives at or directed at Nigerians, We'll discuss it very soon before the year ends. And we are looking at 2023, the year in review, African music space. And Nigerians have thrived within it. We'll be looking at it. That will be my next line of podcast for you. All right? Okay. So it is time to sign out. The name has always been TJY, your Commander-in-Chief. Like I've been doing, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification button to get notified first whenever I post any new video. It is time to sign out. And you know the call sign. I salute. Peace out.